Hello YouTube, what's up goats? Um, Today I'm going to be bringing you another YouTube guide. Alright, let's jump into it. Before we start, I just want to tell you guys this is going to be more of a thought process guide, not a strict build order, minute for minute guide. Just because myself, I don't really follow strict guides, past like the 5 minute mark. So you can follow along with this guide up until like 5 minutes, and then until then you probably not as important. The more important thought process beyond that minute, I would say, would be um, just like theory and, like I said, thought processes and like strategy. All right, so Rus is a difficult civ. I'll say that. If you have had the chance to play Rus, they do require a decent bit of APM. That is because you have to go around the map and kill deer. This requires 2 to 3 scouts. So the basics, can follow along with the video, but I sent 2 villagers to build my hunting cabin instantly. This would be on the wood line, of course. And I built a house. Going around killing deer. Want to generally, I'd say build 3 scouts. Sorry, not build 2 scouts, and you get, of course, the first one for free. Now, generally, I would send my scout immediately to my opponent's base, but because I crossed deer packs, I went and killed them first. You essentially, if you want to see a deer pack, you just kill it immediately. Deer, I mean, sorry, wolves, maybe not as much. They're not as important. Um, for instance, I skipped this wolf pack because I want to get to my opponent's base and kill my opponent's deer ASAP. So there's a lot of things to cover. Like, I don't want to overload you guys with information, but um, this needs to be done in a particular way so that you get deer packs, don't lose sheep under your TC, and you get as much as bounty as possible. So one thing you can do that's of good note is if you have a sheep that's like, let's say you capture a sheep that's this far back, um, but you don't really want to go home, right? You want to go to your opponent's base. Just send the sheep back to your TC from here. It won't take that long to get to your TC, and it provides you a lot of sheep until then, right? So I have 3 scouts. I'm sending them in opposite directions. Yeah, essentially the early game is it's not done, but it's like the important part. Like you're just kind of like microing your scouts now. Making sure to bring home sheep when you need to. I think I bring it home with this guy soon. Like 2 aggressive guys and then 1 defensive guy is usually fine enough. Like these aren't strict things you have to follow, but keep in mind, right? So you can age with wheelbarrow if you have the goal to do so, but if you don't, then no problem. Just age up. So generally, I would say go up with the Kremlin. This is because the Kremlin offers you so much flexibility, and that's why I think Rus is one of the strongest civs in the game, if not the strongest civ in the game, which is what we're going to be going over in this video. The Kremlin just offers so much in terms of flexibility. You can essentially almost always go for second TC instantly because of the Kremlin. It protects your stone mine and it allows you to get those gremlins out, which protects your second TC, for instance. Um, Whereas, Abbasid, they can go military wing and go for a second TC, but it's not the same. Um, you have to invest into that more military option. Whereas Rus, they get the wood bonus, they get a fast second TC. It's kind of just all there right when you age up. Now, for instance, if Faye was going for eco wing in this game, which she's not, she's going military wing, I could opt to go for like a feudal age stable and pressure her stone and still go for a second TC behind. That's because of bounty, of course. I would likely have to cancel my wheelbarrow, but I think, again, that's fine. Because I'll be delaying her stone, and she will not be delaying my stone. So you age up with the Kremlin. You can send these guys to stone. If you, let's say your stone's over here, and you don't really want a Kremlin, and you maybe Kremlin this spot instead, you can send them to wood. Really depends on the position of your map. Like, if you have your Kremlin near wood, you can send those guys to wood after. Just try to min-max as much as possible. Like, for instance, if you were Faye in this position as Rus, you could Kremlin here and then send your wood and then send people to stone while aging up. Instead, I send my people Kremlin to the stone. This is another thing about Rus. While they are difficult to play because you have 3 scouts, it also makes the game a lot easier for you because you have so much vision. Just look at the amount of vision I have in the game. I see everything she's doing, right? I see that she's going on stone, I see that she's going units. And even though I have no units defending, I have the Kremlin, which will naturally defend my second TC here. See? This means I actually get a faster TC timing than opposite. It's just very nice. I could have put this Kremlin a little bit closer to the stone so it wouldn't have been so shaky, but I think I wanted to cover the wood. Anyway, I pop my Gremlin soon here so that I can secure this spot. If they're pressuring you hard and you need to get that second TC up, just spawn the Gremlins. Yep. Send them after and then speed build that second TC behind it. So while you're building a second TC, you can get production up. You have that gold ticking from your hunting cabin, so you can get a stable, you can get an archery range, and you can start producing units. I think I do that stable in here. In a second here. Why not? I thought I did. Okay. Anyway, she's building a second TC now. You can see that it's delayed. Rus is just very fast. They're very like eco-heavy, which is very good in this game. See, my income per minute is just stronger than her in almost every regard. Getting that stable now. Be able to build some knights with that. So another thing is, if you don't really want to micro your scouts, and let's say you don't use not Alt F4, you don't use all military key. I mean, ideally you don't want to, right? But let's say you don't. Just keep your scouts near, hunts on the map, berries, like places that your opponent will want to go towards. You'll eventually pick some stuff out that will help you get some vil damage. Alright, so I'm gonna build my third TC. Again, this is faster than Faye. And I have a stable, and I have an archery range, and I have 3 scouts. And I have a Kremlin that's giving me more wood income, right? She's getting some upgrades. Oh, no, sorry, I have wheel. It's just very, very, like, solid boost. So, very quick civ, I would say. And this is where the flexibility comes in as well. Your base is extremely defended. You have the Kremlin, you have 3 TCs. You can essentially do whatever you want at this point. Like, I'm not even joking. You could age up, you could continue producing. Knights are really strong in feudal age, so if you want to pressure, that's a viable option for you as well. Do have that better resource income as well. So Rus actually have increased food rate, food gather rate, and increased wood gather rate. So 15% increased wood, plus at the moment 10% increased food. And that's essentially at the moment what I'm focusing on, those two resources. Well, just as I say that, of course, I put some people to gold, but your eco is what I'm trying to say is your eco is very, very strong. Right, so my scout sees he's chasing it. I still want to cover this area because there's 2 deer packs here. So I think I loop this scout back around to check if she's going there. Oh, and I actually find a TC here, playing aggressive because I know I'm faster than her, right? So I can be a little bit aggressive while she's needing to actually build that third TC. And as soon as I see this second TC, I'll show you in a second, but I pull the Gremlin boys. Should do that in a second here. So she actually canceled it, which is... It doesn't really show my effectiveness of the Gremlins, but let's say she tries to build this up, right? Like, she tries to, maybe she has a few more units. My Gremlins, in this case, would essentially either force her to cancel the TC, which she already did, or get like 2 to 3 villas. That's just huge value with units that essentially have insanely cheap spearmen. Instead, with my third scout, I see that she's building the TC here. Send these gremlins in, maybe get a vill pick or 2. Yep, 1 vill pick. Don't think I get a second one, but either way, 100% worth it. So the macro at this point really depends on what you want to do. If you're an aggressive pro, you can probably put more on wood, go for more production. If you're a more passive eco pro, you can put more on food, put more on gold, think about the third age. In this case, that's what I'm doing, but I do have, like, if you want to go for the third age, you can put 6 to 10, I'd say, and continue to produce archers, maybe wall a bit, get some upgrades, and just do that while aging. And you'll find that that will go pretty well for you as well, which is, what exactly what I'm doing this game, so I'll show you that. Yeah, and if you were to be a bit more aggressive, I'd say you probably want 15 to 20, depending on how many villagers you have. Like, you'd focus your majority of your eco on food and wood, and probably 5 to 10 on gold, because you want to get knights and um, upgrades. And like I said, the scout over on this side now sees villagers trying to wall this area up for its food resource, and that's exactly where I head next. Like, ideally, you want 1 scout with your cav or your army. Like, if let's say you use 1 go hockey here, just want this with your army, 1 scout, then 1 scout over on the other one side of the map, and then 1 scout on the other side of the map. As a general rule, I would say. I mean, again, this is a tough civ to run and play, but it's an extremely strong civ, so once you master it, you will find a lot of success with it. And this army will probably end up dying, but it's very much worth it for eitering this eco. 10 villages, right? That's very expensive to just kind of run in between these walls to not die to these units. And of course, Rus gets bounty from the bull, so I'm going for that. She does a good job of keeping units over here so that I don't get this for free. And you can see my income, right? It's just very, very solid. 1k food per minute. I have that um, survivor techniques. You almost always want to grab that as pretty early as Rus. You don't have to grab it instantly. Let's say you prefer to have a night out before you can do that, but after you get that night, I would say grab that survivor techniques. So pretty solid income per minute, and my resources, kinda thinking about Castle Age at this moment. Kinda thinking about it. I lose a Ville here because she does a pretty good job of keeping it. But my units will come save that in a second there. But the thing is even if, let's say, I lost my entire army here, which I shouldn't do. I think these cav can probably escape, not the archers, but let's say I lose my entire army here, and I age. I can still defend my base because of this Krem run. I have 3 TCs. I have Kremlin. I lost a few units, and I'm aging. I can still defend because of how strong these units are. They last 65 seconds, which means if you're getting attacked, they're gonna last pretty much the entire fight. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's not. It's just not looking good at this point. But okay, I'm aging, and so as Rus, when you want to age, in my opinion, unless you're playing against H or maybe English or something, if you're gonna like die or something, I would say always go for that high trade house. And that's just because it gives you essentially like two relics just based on the gold income. And 2 relics is, I mean, it's a lot of gold income. And it's not like you can't get these relics afterwards, right? Um, so you can focus more on those resources that you get uh better income from because you have those bonuses. Behind this, I'm killing more villagers. Gonna lose my archers over here, but still worth it. And like I said, even if that does happen, she can't really be aggressive and do that much damage against me. Gonna kill a wolf here that I missed. So we'll see how much gold income. So it starts at 109. I think it might grow a bit, but let's say it goes to 160. That's 2 relics. And you get the deer that spawn from the high trade house, right? Which is 10 gold per deer, plus you get 350 food per deer. Alright, your age. When you get enough wood after maybe building some production buildings so that you don't die, you can build a monastery and pick up those relics. Just get so much gold generation. 218. 218 gold per minute. I mean, this is a good high trade house, but I'm gonna say that's 3 relics based on killing the deer as well. I mean, it's a good high trade house. It's a good map for that, but you get the point. It's just very, very strong. And you see the income per minute. Like, granted that this game has gone very well for me, but this would be still the case, I think. if it hadn't gone so well. That's because I'm just getting so much free gold income, getting increased wood income, getting increased food income, dropping down that monastery. Right, and she's gonna age soon. At this moment, I don't really need to attack her, because I'm getting these upgrades, um, getting the relics, and she hasn't aged yet. That's the insane thing about Rus is you're so flexible, and that really is, in my opinion, why Rus is considered the best, if one of the best, if not the best Civ at the moment. Because you can do so many things in matchups and still be strong. They're good in Feudal Age, they're good in Chaos Age, they're good in Imperial Age. Like you're not like stressed at any moment of the game to like make something happen. You have these timings with gremlins that you're gonna see in a second here. Have that easy access to a second TC with the gremlin. You have that insane gold income with the high trade house. You have the knights in H2, right? I'm just listing things off that make us very, very strong, and that ideally you could be utilizing as well. Take those tips from the game. Have the scouts that are over the map that help you identify weak points in their base. Right, she ages up here in a second, and the first thing I do when she ages up, maybe not the first thing I do, but I pop these gremlins, and that's just trying to get damage in before she gets her upgrades. These are Castle Age gremlins, these do a lot of damage. I've gotten my tier 2 archer upgrades as well. So this is like a strong timing I'm hitting before she's really has access to her Castle Age stuff. Also, I'm doing like the B moves. And again, I'm just showing you the income is just winning in almost every category. Well, every category. Gremlins are tanking the tower, killing it at the same time. I'm just pushing into her base. Before she gets those upgrades. That's GG. Oh. So I hope you guys took away a bit from this game. A bit from Rus in general. I really want to highlight the strengths of Rus and why they're such a good Civ at the moment. Try to play to the strengths as a Civ. Play to the Kremlin, play to the second C, play to their knights, the scouts on the map, their gold generation, their food and wood generation. You want to have as much passive gold as possible, so you can focus on the food. Again, a very difficult Civ, but one I think that if you can master is amazing to. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Watching.